Hey y'all, it's your girl Mariah Sincere, and I'm back with another live. I'm just gonna give everybody an opportunity to come on in the room. I know I like last minute decided to do this live, but I forgot my sister's birthday is tomorrow. So at the same time, I'm supposed to be doing my live on Wednesdays. Gonna be at my sister's birthday tomorrow. So I didn't want to let another week go by and not get on this live. So consistency and discipline, those are the words for the year. So I said, let me go ahead and come on early since I know I'm gonna be having fun tomorrow. And I'll probably do the second live of the week on Sundays from now on, y'all, because I just be wanting to be out and about on Saturdays. I don't want to be at the house at 8 o'clock or 9 o'clock at night, trying to do a live. Y'all remember as y'all come on in that you hit the like button. Hitting the like button helps my lives get circulated. It helps other people to see it. And also let yourself be known in the chat. Make sure that y'all get in the chat and participate and keep this popping because it's weird to just talk to myself, and we had a great live last time, so let's keep that same energy and momentum. Hey Binky, y'all, this is my girl. Yes, consistency is key. Nothing is built overnight. We be seeing people that's been grinding for years. I heard somebody talk about that, how like Shira had been on YouTube for years, at least like 7 years before people finally started noticing her. As a matter of fact, her content was ahead of its time. But now Shira is everywhere. She's getting endorsements, she's getting sponsorships, she's doing collaborations. And everybody is saying sprinkle, sprinkle. Okay. When she came out, people weren't really ready for her, but she just continued to do her because she didn't care. She did it because she wanted to do it and wasn't really worried about the outcome. So showing up, being consistent, being disciplined, not being too outcome dependent, being more dependent on the quality of work that we putting out. That's what we focusing on, guys. So again, as y'all come in, go ahead and comment in the chat. So I'm gonna go ahead and get started. And as y'all are coming in, please again remember to comment so I can shout y'all out. So Reesa Teesa. Well, first of all, let me say this. I saw um a couple of red flags. The major one being, well, first of all, let me go ahead and summarize the situation. For those of y'all who did not watch that like 50-part video, I'm not gonna lie, I ain't watched all 50 parts of it. I watched some of it, and then she put like a summary of her own videos out, and that's what I watched because it was like 13 minutes. Don't nobody got time to be sitting up watching a 50-part videos. Okay. I don't know. Y'all, I was in school and my kids were sitting in class engulfed in everything this woman was saying, like teenagers watching what this woman was saying. And now everybody finna start putting their business out there. I promise y'all. But anyway, I'm listening to the story. So apparently she met her husband online. She said she really wanted to get married. She started online dating, met her husband online, and I guess everything was cool. But over time, she started noticing that he was just lie. He would just lie about random stuff, like about somebody pulling up into the driveway, started being really controlling and manipulative. I couldn't get past part 8. LOL, I just didn't have a chance to finish. Yeah, it was too long. Who got time, okay? And really a lot of the smaller details that she was giving out over those 50 videos was really just he's a pathological liar. It could all really be summed up. The man was lying about where he worked, what he had done in life. The man lied and said that he lied about his relationships. A lot of the people that he pretended that he was close with would not fool with him because of his character and the things that he have done. He lied about phone calls he had made. He lied about working in an office. He lied about having a company car. He lied about being able to afford a house. Truth be told, um in all reality, he just drove a forklift. Okay. He was a temporary forklift driver. And to be honest, I don't understand why he lied like that because something tells me that if he would have told this woman the truth and just let her know that he drives forklifts, that she probably still would have dated him. Like, she doesn't come off as the type who would have turned her nose up at that had he had been a decent person. Okay. But when you trying to game and manipulate, then you lie about stupid stuff. Or again, a lot of men think, women want to hear certain things, so they sell fantasy. So end up, she found out eventually, he's a forklift driver, which again, ain't nothing wrong with the forklift drivers. I don't understand why he lied about that. I think he was feeding into his own delusions, because the previous ex-wife's son came out and told the story about how he used to lie even then and try to put on airs and make it seem like he's something that he was not. So I think this was more for his own ego than trying to be able to control the situation, because again, there are plenty of women who would date a forklift driver. It's not bad money. No, is he rich? But I mean, come on now. So let me tell y'all the major red flag I've seen in this situation. This would have prevented the whole situation. And a lot of y'all ladies are not going to want to hear this, but this is the truth. Online dating. Ladies, there is no reason, absolutely no reason on this earth that a woman should get on an online dating site like Facebook dating, where she met this man, Tinder or Bumble, unless it's one or two things. You're either desperate, okay? You might be desperate because you feel like you need to really just get out there and try to find somebody. Reesa Teesa even says she got on there because she was desperate and wanted to get married and find a husband, and she idolized marriage. Okay. Or you're lazy. What I mean by you're lazy? Well, I just don't have time to go out and meet people. Well, okay, you're going to pay for that, because the only way that you can get a sense and a feel of a person's aura is by meeting them in person. And I don't understand how a lot of women be going out on these dates with men that they met on the internet and feel comfortable, because like, I have to, before you even ask me out on the date, I have to even feel your aura. Like, it's something about feeling a person in person that lets you know whether or not this is a weirdo. For example, Ted Bundy, he was, handsome by most standards, but there were plenty of women who said when you were in this man's presence, he gave off weird vibes and weird energy. And a lot of the men that go on these online dating sites looking for women, first of all, they're good at painting a facade and a fantasy because they want to get your attention on their profile. Okay. So they will lie, they will embellish, they will create errors, and not just that. A man is going to automatically look at a woman who is online dating and think there's something wrong with you, even though there might not necessarily be anything wrong with you. Why am I saying this? We can literally step our big toe out the door and a man is going to holler at us. Point blank, period. I don't care who the woman is, what she look like, okay? Most women are capable and willing, if they're capable, if they're willing to talk to men, to be able to get a man to date them or take them out on a date. We don't never need to get on the internet and look for no man on a website. That's just not something we have. That's something they got to do. That ain't something we got to do. Yes. Y'all, this is my friend Michaela. This is my favorite photographer. Every time y'all see my professional photo, she does this. I'm trying to get my girl to come on here. Okay, so hopefully her being here tonight and seeing the energy will inspire her to get on behind the camera, get her own channel. She's a very interesting person. I love her. She's one of my favorite people in the entire world. But yeah, so we never need to get on the internet. And most of the time when I talk to women, like, yes, you hear these um success stories that are rare of people who met their significant other online, but it's very, very rare, y'all. And most of the time it's not even a situation where it's truly they met each other online. It'll be something where like they had mutual friends, or perhaps they had met in person before a previous time, but you rarely see a couple who just cold turkey met online dating and there was not some weird shit, okay, going on eventually. Vicky says, I used to like online dating, but I can't even imagine. I met my last fiance online and we were together for 6 years, but I have no interest in today's climate. Vicky, have you been online since then? Do you feel like the online climate was different when you were dating versus what it is now? Because what I'm hearing now is Reesa Teesa is not the only one who has come out. It's a lot of men who are getting on the internet and trying to scam women and get resources out of women. And this is why I say, people can say what they want to say. I don't like men that talk too much, honestly and truly. I do not like men who are too well spoken. And I know that sounds crazy and I know that that sounds ignorant, but most of the time they don't use that for good, they use it for evil. I like men who are a bit more simple minded. I'm gonna explain that in a minute. Michaela says, I agree. I used to be for online dating and now it's a no for me. Yeah, and 9 times out of 10, you just meet a whole bunch of time wasters and people who are trying to manipulate you. I went on one online. I dated one guy that I met online one time, and it was a never again for me because he ended up to me just being too weird. And I was like, is this what people are going through out here? I can't do it. And it was far more weird than any experience that I had had, just, meeting people and it not that I met in real life and it didn't work out. Y'all understand? It was just, I don't know, kind of scary. A lot of He was a pathological liar too. Okay. Binky, we broke up in 2020 and I literally won't even consider it today. No way. Yeah. Honestly and truly, if a man cannot walk up to me in person and shoot his shot, then you just not the man for me. That's another thing. I feel like online dating has made it too easy for men who are afraid of rejection. And a man that is afraid of rejection is off the top the wrong kind of man. Okay, you got to learn to be okay with rejection. And I know a lot of men feel like, okay, well, that's easy for women to say because we get to turn down men all the time. Y'all, women get rejected too. It's just not necessarily in the same ways that y'all get rejected. Okay, rejection also looks like you be dating a man and he decides later on he don't want the same things that you want. Okay, well, now you got to deal with that kind of rejection. Or rejection looks like a man not necessarily treating you in the ways in which you deserve, and then now you gotta you take it personally, and now you have to deal with the blows to your self-esteem. So women get rejected in dating as well. It's just on a different time frame as the men do. Y'all understand what I'm trying to say? And a lot of the times, rejection don't have to just do with romantic relationships. You can get rejected for a promotion on the job. You can get rejected for a car loan. There's so many areas in life where you can get rejected and you have to deal with the emotional toll that it takes on you and your self-esteem. And I don't like dealing with men or talking to men who don't understand this and throw a pity party because of that. Okay. It's mannerisms for me. I need to see your mannerisms. Yes, that's too. Because that I'm sorry, meeting a man in person too, sometimes you have to meet a man in person to see, like, mannerisms can tell you if a person have a bad spirit. A lot of times it can even tell you if a man really want women or not. I mean, it's a lot that goes into analyzing people's mannerisms. Hey, D Malley, yes, it's definitely hard to vet people online, especially since you can curate your entire lifestyle online. How many people have y'all seen that have been sitting up posted with a foreign car and have a Louis purse at home with their mama, and they don't even have a car at all? They don't have no car, let alone a foreign car. Baby, you don't even got a Honda Civic. Shout out to everybody driving a Honda Civic, because I'm by no means talking down on anybody who's just out here living regular, but people will go online and put 20 on 10. And if you're dating people based off of what they've accomplished and the material that they have, then you gonna get fooled every single time dealing with a lot of these people. So you got to be able to see people and feel the aura, look at the energy, look at the mannerisms. I even look at stuff like what catches their eye in a room. What kind of things do they look at, and you can't necessarily filter that online. It's just very difficult. Even men say this, oh, I'm tired of getting catfish. Well, get offline. Okay. If you don't like the way that the women are looking when they show up on a first date, well, that should tell you, if you don't went on 20 dates and 19 out of 20 of them you done got catfish, that should tell you that maybe that's not for you. Maybe you need to meet women online. Okay, if it's such a big deal to you. But I'm going back to, I don't like men that talk too much. Okay. It is not normal for a man to be, and I know this is gonna sound wrong because it sounds like I'm trying to say that men are stupid, and I'm not. But it is not normal for a man to be really extremely overly articulate. And I know women, we want to talk to men who are emotionally intelligent, articulate, know how to use their words, but y'all got to understand, men are more of doers. Okay, they're more doers, they're more visual. When I think a majority of the men who have learned how to use the power of the tongue, they do not use it correctly. Think about pastors. I ain't saying every pastor is out here using or manipulating people, but it's a whole lot that's using their mouth to get that money out the purse. And I'm gonna say this: a lot of these online dating coaches is the new pastors. A lot of these men that's like replace the new pastors. But for women, we love to hear words. We love to hear pretty words. We love to get sold a dream. So for men, their weakness is sex, and for women, our weakness is words. So when you have a man that understands that all you have to do is paint a pretty picture and leave enough gray areas in the conversation for the woman to start filling in the gaps, then you are setting yourself up to be manipulated. I promise you, I like my men real simple minded. Okay. When they start talking too much, you can bet your bottom dollar you finna get manipulated. He finna try to run some game on you. D Malley from Cali. I have to see someone a few times before I approach, unless I know I will probably never see them again. And that's understandable. I mean, I feel like the best situations are always going to be those situations where you get to kind of observe somebody in their element versus just kind of cold approaching somebody who you may or may not even see. Because when you get to see, that's why a lot of people develop relationships at school or on the job, because you spend a lot of time there and then you kind of get to watch a person and observe them on a day-to-day. Now, is that the best practice? No, but I guess that's just human nature. Michaela said that's interesting. What's interesting about it, Michaela? Expound upon that. So off top, if she would have never been desperate and went on online dating, this whole situation never happens. And a lot of people try to tell women not to do this. I know Tony Gaskins, he's been on his channel for years telling women don't online date. The women just argue with him. They be in the comments arguing back and forth. And this is a man telling women about how men are, and the women sit up and argue with him about that. Oh, you can meet bad people in real life on your day to day. And it's like, yeah, but you have a filter on in your day to day that you just don't have when you're dealing with men online. And also, going back to the perception, you already starting off on the wrong foot in the perception of these men, because they know that your ass don't need to get on no online website today. They know you don't need to do that. So it looks like something is wrong with your ass. And guess what? When you have somebody who is a predator and they feel like you have a weakness, a vulnerability, or is something wrong with you, then they gonna do what predators do and prey on that weakness. That just is what that is. Michaela says most men that do talk too much do use it to manipulate. Not all, but being back in the dating world, I've seen it more. Yes. And we've been taught as women to love this. They also understand because we made said it loud and clear that we are very irritated and fed up with men who don't know how to articulate their feelings and emotions. We have let it be known to the world that that is something that is rare. So it's nothing for a man who is manipulative to say, okay, well, all I have to do is learn how to talk pretty to these women, and I'm already in the top, 20% of men, right? If that really, you could be in the top 10%. I already stand out. She's already going to see me as the prize, and she got to do whatever she can to keep a man like this in her life, right? Because most men ain't telling her what she want to hear. It's very powerful. The power of the tongue when it comes to a man, it's very powerful. And that's why a lot of the times we get ourselves into these situations listening to these men. And that's why you always got to say, okay, well, it sound good, but watch what they do and be willing to walk away. But most of the time when I've seen women get themselves into these type of situations, it's always because you got a smooth talking man that knows how to run game. And I think we get too offended when we're dating the men who kind of stumble over their words a little bit and don't always know the right things to say. We pass that dude up quicker when honestly and truly that probably would be the easiest dude for us to deal with, because he don't really got it. That dude is probably more predictable. The man that offends you is probably far more predictable than the man. And when I say offends you, I'm not talking about a man that's sitting up calling you out of your name, or I'm not talking about that. I'm just saying the man who, like, if y'all really sat and listened to men just kind of talk in their element, like bar at the barbershop or something, they when they're able to be themselves, they say a lot of stuff that us women, baby, you wouldn't even want to be around them. Okay. Or they don't always know what to say, so they say stuff that offends us and we get upset and don't want to talk to them, because it just didn't sound pretty. But honestly and truly, you more likely to get a man who is honest, or even if he's not honest, it's just not so manipulative to the point where he done created this whole different life and lifestyle. You are more likely to get a closer to the truth situation when dealing with that man than with dealing with the man who do a whole lot of talking. Hey, Mr. D, how are you? Thank you for showing up. Because another thing that I noticed too, I'm gonna say this. And brothers, y'all might get offended, but this is the absolute truth. Now, I defended y'all last week when what was that? A DJ Batman was saying that it's only black men who don't believe in wearing protection, which that's not true. Okay. But hold on now. This week I'm gonna tell the truth on y'all. Y'all be the main ones, black men. Y'all be the main ones lying about the money y'all got. And I know it's financial insecurity because of whatever reasons in life. Okay, y'all might say slavery, but I don't really pay that no mind, because black women be out here hustling and grinding. My sister in the chat, Michaela, that's the hustler, that's the go-getter. Okay. And she got a whole, I mean, she have a million and one reasons not to hustle the way that she hustle. So and she come from the same ancestry of slavery. Binky, that's a hustler. Okay. So I really don't be trying to hear all that, but I mean, I'll give that to y'all. We've all had to come up from circumstances that maybe other groups of people haven't. But for whatever reason, black men be so insecure about their financial situation that you way more likely to meet a black man that's lying about his financial situation than if you meet, a Hispanic man or a white man. That's just not something that's very common when you go date those kind of men. And that ain't to kind down black men and put those other races of men up. That's just me speaking the truth. I can't tell you how many women I've talked to who have told me they dealt with a man who was lying about their money. Or I was talking to one of my students today, told me her daddy be lying about the money he got to women and putting on fronts and airs and dressing it up and making it look nice. Okay, ain't nobody got time for that. Mr. D, we're talking about online dating, lying, and manipulation. Mr. D, do you think that women should online date? Why or why not? Yeah, so let me tell you, when I meet a black man and he talking too much about the money he got, I don't be wanting to hear that shit no more. Cause I'm like, oh, I just know you sitting up here lying, you fronting, you putting up airs. Because let me tell y'all something, people that really have money and got it like that, they're not as quick to lead with their money and talk about the money they have because they have an insecurity that people are going to use them for their money. So those people are more likely to try to figure out if you like them for them. Okay. And let's say, even if they do have the money they say that they have, right? They very insecure in who they are as a person, that they have to lead with their finances, and that type of person is usually the type that when you get with them, they're going to try to be financially controlling because they feel that they money holds some weight. They usually don't have the character to go with that bank account, and then you got to decide, do you want to deal with that? And you definitely gonna have to always keep your own dealing with that type of person, because then they get to smelling themselves. Yes, of course. Yeah, my sis Kayla, she is a hustler. So honestly and truly, I don't be trying to hear no excuse that no man got to say about his financial situation. I'm trying to hear it because I'm around a group of successful black women who is hardworking and hustlers in spite of. So I don't be trying to hear none of that shit. Yeah, lying is a sign of immaturity. Yeah, D Mally, it's definitely a sign of immaturity. It's also a sign of insecurity because again, you can't tell me that Reesa Teesa wouldn't have dated that man if she wouldn't have just been straight up and said that he wouldn't have been straight up and said that he drive a forklift. I don't think she would have cared. But he cared. So he lied about the insecurity that he cared about. Online dating is no good. I don't think women nor men should use it. No facts. Most of the time when people get on a website to online date, a lot of times men get on there just for hookups. A lot of times people get on online dating right after a breakup, which is crazy. But a lot of times people will be like, I'm willing to bet at least 50% of the people who get on online dating do it right after a breakup because they don't know how to deal with that loneliness and they're trying to get up under somebody to get over somebody. So you're also going to run into that element where you're dealing with people who are not over their ex or still entangled with their ex. You're dealing with a lot of people who are desperate. Again, you got men going on there desperate for sex. And then I'm hearing that it's a thing where women go on there and look for that too, which that's crazy to me. But in Reesa Teesa's situation, wanting marriage is what drove her to online dating. And that's another thing we have to deal with, women. And I've been dealing with myself with that. You got to be okay with maybe it just ain't in the cards for you. That don't mean that you accept defeat or you tell yourself, I'm never going to be married, it's not going to happen for me. No, you just detach from the outcome. And a lot of people can't do that because you're wasting your single time. A lot of people spend their single time waiting on somebody to come make their life better, waiting on somebody to emotionally attach to, instead of just living your life the way that you want to live it right now while you're single and doing the work. Okay, for example, I want to start, like, I would love to be in a relationship where I had a man that we can go out and dance. I love salsa dancing and bachata. I would love to have a man like that. But guess what? I'm not finna sit in this house and wait for a man to come along before I go do that. Cause why? my feet work, my legs work. I still love dancing, and I can go out and meet a stranger and dance with him at a club, at a Latin club, and go home and go about my business and do it all over again the next Saturday if I want to. Y'all understand what I'm saying? I don't have to sit at home lonely, stressed, and depressed because I don't have who I feel like should be in my life for me to be able to start doing the things that I actually love and want to do. And when you are lazy, okay, because doing the work right now, living your life the way that you see fit to do it, that requires work. It don't happen automatically. But when you're lazy about you, lazy about what you want for your life, then you get desperate and you start making the wrong moves. And we've all been there. So that's not to judge anybody. Trust me, I've been there too, where I've been lazy about me. So instead of putting my energy into me, I put it into another person. Now I've gotten a whole lot better at telling myself, hey, instead of getting upset or getting too emotionally invested in certain situations, I've gotten a whole lot better in telling myself, this person or this situation cannot save you. They're not the problem. They're not what's missing. Okay. And once you begin to change your mindset behind that, you get far less desperate. Mr. D, that lady Portia broke up with her guy because he was lying about being rich and is a broke scammer. I could have told Portia that. See, I be trying not to be racist when I get on here because I be trying not to get myself in trouble. But I love African people. Okay. Not all African people are scammers. Okay. But it's a certain type. But guess what? I don't feel bad for Portia because Portia lets it be known that she only dates men with money and that she's all about her bag. So a man is always going to step to her, always leading with his wallet. And that's what she's attracted to because Portia wouldn't be checking for Simon if he was broke. She would never date him. Like, and I don't blame her either because, yeah, Simon, he not easy on the eyes. Online dating for most women is a form of validation. What do y'all think, ladies? When y'all were online dating, do y'all think it was a form of validation for y'all, or do y'all think you were genuinely just trying to find somebody? I'm gonna say this, and I'm just speaking as somebody. I'm like any other woman, so this is not me bragging on myself. Every woman DMs and inbox is full. Me personally, and I don't know if this is just my own experience, I get absolutely no validation from men sliding in my DM, shooting their shot, hearting my pictures, or anything like that, because I know that men are visual creatures, and most of the time these men are thinking of me in a sexual way. This don't really have nothing to do with my mind, and that's not to downplay me. Okay, that's just the way of things. So I don't lie to myself and create false options for myself in my mind because, truth be told, I would not in a real life situation date 99.99999 of those men. Okay, for me, it's like, let's say you want people to come visit your house, but the only people that's coming to visit you is roaches. Are you gonna be happy that the roaches want to come visit you? That's really how I feel about that. It doesn't do anything for me, but that doesn't mean it doesn't do anything for the next woman. I don't know. Yeah, girl, that Simon, he real hard to look at, girl. He real hard to look at. I say, child. Simon is one of them folks where, like, I definitely like I I hope like you would need to go get your tubes tied because you like, child, I do not want to have no child that look like Simon, baby. Okay, I would not be. If it's just for the money, I definitely ain't having no kids by you. I think many women have little patience with dating. You know what? That's true. I actually had to like be real with myself about the lack of patience that I have. Um, I think the older you get, your patience dwindles. Let's start there. Um, the more insecurities that you've had, especially if you put a lot of time into a situation and maybe it didn't pan out. And then not just that, you honestly and truly begin to recognize game better. So let me not make it seem like the impatience is unfounded. You can spot game quicker. You can spot inconsistencies quicker than what you would have when you were younger. So it makes you very impatient when you see the game getting run on you. I say this even me as a teacher. Y'all, when I tell you these kids, that the game running starts early, especially with the young men. And I'm to the point in the year, like, school year is almost, we dang near almost over. Okay. The As soon as them little boys get to line to me, I'll be watching them on their cell phone. I'm watching you play a video while I'm up here trying to teach. I'll say such and such. What are you doing that you're not supposed to be doing? Miss, I'm not doing nothing. I'm not doing nothing. That was him. And I'm literally looking. They will sit and lie and just you looking at them. You could be it could They could still have the video up on their phone and they gonna sit there and lie. And before, like at the beginning of the school year, I was willing to kind of talk it out some more and give chances. Nope. Now, as soon as they open their mouth to lie, get out. Get out my classroom. Bye. I'll see you tomorrow. We'll try again another day. But you ain't gonna give me no another. Bye, holler. And that's how it can feel with dating, y'all. You just kind of get to the point where the only way a person can deal with you is if they come real and correct, because you just spot the games. But that does make it a lot harder for you to even get into something because it's already over before it done got started. Okay, which may or may not be a bad thing. Most of the time, that's not a bad thing. Most people you shouldn't even get with to begin with. Um, Online validation is a tricky thing. I'm low key online, mostly neck up selfies, but when I'm feeling myself, I'll spice it up every once in a while. Yeah, like I don't think it's nothing wrong with I feel like, so honestly and truly, y'all, if I wasn't trying to do YouTube and if I wasn't trying to establish an online presence, I probably wouldn't be online as much. But we live in a day and age where you have to be online, okay? And you can't be online looking like Mother Teresa and think somebody gonna care about what you talking about, because that's just not gonna happen either. Okay. Even what's my girl Sarah Jakes Robert? Now she always is covered up, but even she gets her makeup done and hair real nice. She not on here looking like who did it and why. The presentation is very nice. You can be classy, or you can be classy with a little twist of sexy and still be online, because bottom line is a online presence can be leveraged to make money. If you're not doing that in this day and age, then you are behind on the eight ball. You need to try to establish some type of online footprint. And for women, beauty is currency. Okay, beauty in some type of form. So I don't think it's necessarily so much that women are seeking attention online versus women are trying to find avenues to make money. And when you have women understand that, again, men are very visual creatures and they're willing to spend money that based on the optics and the visuals, you can't really blame women for saying, well, I'm going to use that to my advantage. Even a lot of women are like this. Like a lot of women, they gravitate towards women who look a certain way or provide aesthetics. You're more likely to, listen to the girl on the internet who looks more put together than the girl who maybe gets online and has her hair thrown up everywhere. Why? Because if you want to feed your mind certain content and you're trying to get to a certain place in your life, 9 times out of 10, you want to be viewing somebody who's already where you aspire to be, or looks like there's somebody who you would be willing to watch grow because y'all seem like y'all are on the same journey. It's all about alignment. Don't nobody want to sit up on the internet and watch struggle all day. I try to be honest with strangers. It hasn't worked yet. Well, what are you saying, D. Malley? Now, if you just going up to the women, well, it is the right thing to do. But if you just going, like, what are you telling them? Let's do that first before I comment. Most dudes that are feeling me, I've known for years in real life. I always feel like those are like the better situations. I'd rather deal with that kind of situation than an online situation. Now, I mean, whether or not y'all supposed to be together, that, I don't know. But to me, that's just a safer option than dealing with a man online. 100% I agree. I'm at the point where I don't want to hide so much and just be present for real online. It is what it is at this point. People will assume regardless. Yeah. And that's why I always kind of get irritated when you a lot of these men get on the internet and it's like a woman is wifey material and the best woman to date is a woman that doesn't have social media and is not seeking validation. It's like, bruh, y'all be sounding so much like y'all want to deal with broke ass chicks so bad. And I'm not saying that just because a woman is not on the internet that she's broke. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying a lot of women are using the internet to make money, because then you'll also have a lot of these same dudes who are saying that, the women should be staying at home cooking and cleaning and not having a job. And it's like, y'all want to deal with women who are so hidden from the world and financially and emotionally independent on you that she, can't possibly do anything or live without you, because ain't nobody checking for her, because she don't let herself go, because she don't go nowhere, or don't nobody see her, so she don't care how she looking. Okay. And she has not accomplished anything at all for herself to be able to go make it on her own, so she has to stay with you out of necessity. And that's just crazy. This is 2024. A woman being on the internet don't mean that she's a hoe, or that she's necessarily thirsty for validation, so much as maybe it's the money that's the motivator. And there are plenty of ways to make money on the internet, not just OF. Okay. I have a friend who showed me the check that she makes just making Facebook posts, and she got like $3,000 that month just making Facebook posts, because she has a lot of followers and engagement on there. Okay. You'd be a fool not to try to leverage that if you had the opportunity. Again, you and Binky are rare breeds, even though I don't know y'all personally, but based on y'all's presentation thus far, y'all don't give off that type of energy, but most women seek attention. Well, one thing I will say, Mr. D, is it's very difficult as a woman for you to get attention and stand out if you're not constantly with your clothes off. It's just the easier way to the top. It's just the easier way to get following and engagement. So again, it might not necessarily be attention for the sake of attention for those women who are choosing to do that. A lot of the times they either didn't know better because they started doing it young, or they chose to take the easy route. Okay. Me posting a girl posting a picture with a little bit of cleavage out is not gonna get the same amount of attention and traction as a girl posting a picture bent over with her cheeks out. It's just not going to do that. And then when those views can somehow equate to sponsorships and dollar signs and numbers, you're going to have women far more tempted to do that. It's not necessarily for validation, because again, any woman can go outside her house and get instant validation from a men that she walks by, or walks past at a store or anything like that. There's no shortage of that validation, which is their currency. Okay, Mr. D, there's definitely a lot of that for sure. I'm not gonna gaslight you. I mean, yeah, is it some of that? Yeah, I don't, but guys, I honestly and truly don't think that that is the primary reason why these women do. Another thing I noticed too, a lot of girls will start showing their body more if they're trying to make a guy that they're dealing with upset. I've seen that a lot too. Like, y'all ever notice, y'all see girls who, like, they don't never really post nothing too crazy, but every time she get into it with her man, it's just over the top. It's over the top. Like, she's trying to show people that that man, show that man other men want her. Um, but I do think there is a, outside of just validation, there is a larger incentive of this. Just is what makes money. This is what pays bills. The internet and social media should be used to earn income. That's true, Mr. D, but a lot of those women would argue that they earn an income. Even if they're not directly earning income from, Facebook, like my friend who earns income off of Facebook does. Even if they're not doing that, like, it can attract certain people, into their lives that are willing to, spend money. I'm not saying it's right. I'm not defending it. I'm just saying this is the culture that we live in. Even me, again, I'm not necessarily posting the same pictures that a girl who has OnlyFans aspirations does, or I'm not necessarily on the internet saying the craziest things, but I also understand that I can't just be on here looking any kind of way, because I need to be able to leverage my appearance when I need to. And, I'm not going to front like I just get on here just, and I don't never think about that. No, that's not true at all. I think cancel culture makes it hard to be honest. It's hard to express oneself when people are very easily offended nowadays. Yeah, no, people are easily offended, especially if so. Originally, when I made this YouTube channel, I was gonna talk about politics. Mind you, I made this YouTube channel like 7 years ago, but I didn't start getting on it for real until I met AP, and he encouraged me to get on here, and then I just took a completely different path. But even just I have very different views from a lot of people. I don't fit into a box. I always say I'm politically homeless, and I offend people on whatever side that you're on. So I understand what you're saying about feeling like you have to hold back in certain areas. I've had to learn that certain conversations just ain't for everybody, because everybody don't understand. As long as I'm being real and authentic and who I am as a person, you don't need to know my opinion on everything. I agree with you, but outside is limited. Online is worldwide. Exactly. So, you got to think about it. Like, if you're just trying to market yourself to the people in your city or your neighborhood, what if you stay in a small town or a small city? Even if you stay in a major city, you can only service so many people. But when you get online, you have instant access to the world. I mean, the possibilities are limitless depending on how you market yourself. So again, you got a lot of these women and these young ladies who are saying, hey, if I market myself in a hypersexual way, if I market myself as a hypersexual toxic chick, this is going to get the quickest amount of attention, and it could possibly, make sense in dollars. LOL, yes, game playing for sure happens. Yeah, for sure. Six cat calls versus 1,000 DMs is a big difference. Mr. D, I think you're grossly underestimating the amount of cat calls women get per day. Cause six is very low, in my opinion. Um, and even then, like, okay, for example, again, and this is not to brag on me, I'm just speaking on my experience, but I'm sure this is for any woman. My DMs get flooded every single day, right? Um, Again, it's like digging through the trash. It's like spam emails. It's like spam emails. Like, do you view your spam emails in the same way that you view emails that come through that are actually important? Probably not. Like, they're not even real emails to you. Um I don't know how to explain it. Like, and I guess you just have to kind of be a woman to understand, because of the dynamics between men and women are far less likely to just walk up and approach a man. Like, y'all are surprised when a woman does that. But again, women get hollered at, every day. I don't know how to explain it. You'd have to be us to where you get numb and desensitized to it even when it happens in person. Like you be like, I really wish folks would leave me alone. Which we shouldn't be like that, because then we'd be feeling away if no man was checking for us in real life, right? You'd be like, dang, am I looking crazy or toe up? Am I not cute? But I mean, that's just how it is, because you get desensitized to it. And then when you're busy doing stuff, you just want folks to leave you alone. That's just how it is. Yeah. Make it's like spam emails. It don't even feel like real people. It's like you're in a simulation. And not just that, once you understand men, like for me, I know the same dude that's steady sending me DMs is also in another chick's DMs doing that. It's a numbers game. Okay. For a lot of them, rarely do you, I mean, I don't know if I ever met a man who just like, I don't know. I don't believe that there are men who have a crush on just this one girl and he's just checking for her on the internet. No, most of the time those men are just, it's like a salesperson. I'm approaching everybody. I'm shooting my shot at everybody, and it's going, it's going, stick for one of them. So it doesn't even feel special, cuz you already know he up in everybody else DM too. Hey GMS, how are you? I understand, Mariah. The comparison is unmatched between the two. Yeah, I don't even. I don't even know. I just feel like, going back to the whole online dating thing. It's no reason, and that's why you don't really do as much for us as it does for men. Like a lot of men, again, it's they feel like it's better to online date because y'all have a fear of approaching women and women don't approach y'all. So I don't necessarily look at a man that's online dating and think something is necessarily wrong with him, so much as I think he lacks confidence or something like that. But for women, I'm like, why, girl? We don't have to. You can literally just show up and the men are going to be checking for you. I don't care what you look like, what you do, where you work at, what you drive. It's not gonna be hard. Yes, GMS done pulled up. But GMS, you done pulled up late. I'm glad you pulled up that though. Okay. Better late than never, cause y'all, I'm for real finna get off of here because I need to go work out. And I don't feel like I have anything else to say unless y'all have something that y'all want to talk about. Go ahead and quickly put it in the chats. I don't like to say the same things over and over and keep y'all, because I feel like I made my points that this would have never happened if she went to online dating. And the second red flag is that that man talked too much. Okay, I'm telling you, soon as a man these days, soon as a man start talking too much, baby, you not the one for me. I don't care how nice it sounds. Okay, you gonna lie and manipulate, do all that. You talk way too much for me, baby. I like my men, uh, quiet and brutish in the mind. Now, okay, I like that. That don't mean he won't be sweet to you. That don't mean he won't treat you right. That don't mean, deal with a man to talk crazy to you. But if you way too articulate, way too smooth with the words, nope. Hell no, because you're not gonna take me up and through here and be having me crying and emotionally distraught, and you live in a double life, and I done fell for the okey doke. I'm not finna be dealing with that. Okay, Gene. Yes, hit the replay. I feel like this was a good live, y'all. Um, I'm definitely gonna come on here Sunday, y'all. Please tell me the topic if y'all want to go on my Instagram page, or if you want to come up under the comments on this video when I get off or something. Please give me a suggestion. Tell me what y'all want to hear about, because I don't really keep up with too much stuff. I kind of see what everybody else is keeping up with, and I definitely want to put out content that y'all want to watch. So I will see y'all on Sunday if y'all can be here. I'm gonna get on at 7 o'clock. It was good talking to y'all. Thank y'all everybody that showed up, and I will see y'all next time. Good night.